Hello, everyone, and I know what you're thinking. It's Friday, and you post music on Fridays, but this is not music. I know, it's weird. I am going back to my roots as an aspiring gaming YouTuber. Let's all just sit in. I was gonna say irony, but this isn't really irony. I'm doing this entirely sincerely for the fun of it. I have taken the management job of Chicago Fire. Today we are opening our MLS season against Columbus Crew Soccer Club. Easy for me to say. Yeah, let's skip all this. We are back in time. It is 2018. Chicago Fire haven't had their awful rebranding yet. Columbus Crew, for that part, have not had their awful rebranding yet. It's a simpler time. I hesitate to say it is a better time. A time in which, in real life, Chicago Fire were absolute garbage. And my goal, as I step out of the time machine and into this reality, is to take Chicago Fire from one of the worst teams to one of the best teams. And today we're going to do that while discussing the question in the video title, which is, what is music actually? So, just quick aside, I have not yet decided if this is going to be a regular feature on this channel or if I'm going to create a new gaming channel to keep my music separate. But I thought, while I'm going to be taking risks and playing FIFA on my what was before now entirely music-centric channel, I would start with a discussion of music. Because in the preseason tournament where I sound checked and prepared for this video, I found myself talking quite a bit and rambling on and on about what music is, and realized partway through that it would make at least a half decent title or premise for this video. I'm still getting used to talking while playing FIFA. I've certainly done a lot more FIFA playing without talking than I have FIFA playing while talking. But one more side note before we get into the actual topic of this video. If I'm going to live my dreams and and channel John Green and his Wimbly Womblies, try to recreate that magic, I must somehow manage to talk about something completely unrelated to the game while I play this game. And I also seem to be failing. So, what is music actually? I find this to be a really interesting question because every definition that I've seen of music, or what music is and what music isn't, just kind of falls flat for me. Just like our defense right now. Give me a second. Yes, our goalkeeper. He's no Gabriel Solonina, but he's all right. What am I doing? So, I have yet to find like an academic definition of what music is that I think actually answers the question. Oh boy. So at least we got a corner out of this. It's not a bad attempt. It's just way too close to the goalkeeper. Yeah. So over the years, I've seen a lot of attempts to define music, and most of them are something like, oh, it's a combination of melody, rhythm, and harmony. But I don't... Oh, that was close to. I don't buy that definition of music because there's music that doesn't have melody, there's music that doesn't have rhythm, and there's music that doesn't have harmony. So you don't need all three of the supposed elements of music to get something that I would argue is music. And trying something even looser, like music is organized sounds. Well, I'm talking right now. These sounds that I'm making with my mouth are incredibly organized. They're one of the most complicated things on this planet, human language is. And I forget where I first saw the definition that music was organized sounds, but it's just like, no. Oh my gosh. Okay. I did not see that coming, but okay, Columbus Crew strike first. We are going to have to fight back and come from behind while tackling philosophical questions, or maybe I'll just wrap up this discussion early and talk tactics, because maybe I'll win. We don't need to watch their goal again. So, I don't remember where I first saw the definition of music as organized sounds, but it stuck in my head and really bugged me because that's way too broad. But then there are definitions like music is rhythm, melody, and harmony, which is way too narrow. So at this point, a lot of people would say, well, there just is no definition of music. And it's kind of like a you'll know it when you see it thing. Score. Oh my gosh. I'm just willing it to happen at this point. I have to say, I don't feel like we're playing badly. We just aren't playing well. Yeah. So, yeah, at this point in the discussion, people are going to be thinking to just do the I'll know it when I see it approach with music, and that music is just sounds that sound like music, and we all know what music is, right? It's part of the human experience. All human cultures have music. There's not a soul on this earth who truly doesn't have a musical bone in their body. I mean, everyone does. Yes, who is our first goal scorer? Who is our first goal scorer? And please tell me I can pronounce your name. We have tied it up in the 28th minute. Oh my gosh. Bronico, I think. Incredible goal. I'm so ready to see this again. Yep, the Chicago fans who made the trip down to Columbus, I almost said Cincinnati. I'm sorry, Columbus. They are getting their money's worth today. Through the legs of one defender and past the goalkeeper. Not quite through the legs, but close enough. Yes. Silence those Columbus fans. This one old guy on the sidelines was really excited. Side note, this is back in 2018 FIFA where you can't design your own manager, and none of the managers look like me, so I just picked one who looked the furthest from me. Just like one John Green. Yeah. We can win this game. I still believe it. We didn't lose a single preseason game. And that was while I was trying to adjust my microphone the whole time. So surely we can get past Columbus and get to a winning start. It's not like they're any better than us, right? I honestly don't remember how good Columbus were back in the old days of 2018. So yeah, I don't think that the I know it when I see it is a very good definition of music either, because that's still not helpful. And we've done it. Oh my gosh, 2 goals back to back. And this is what football's all about, you know? You think the game's going to go one way, and then Chicago just decide, no, we're not going to take it. We are not going to let Columbus walk all over us. We're going to come back. And I'm not saying we're going to win this game by like 10, but I'm also not saying we're winning this game by 10. Raheem Edwards, beautiful pronounceable name, his first goal of the season. And just like that, we are on top and flying, just as I'm about to explain my definition of music and why I think it's a lot better than every definition I've ever heard, despite the fact that I've not heard this definition anywhere else. I don't know that it's entirely original to me, but I have thought about this issue a lot, and it is inspired quite a bit by a book that I was lucky enough to have the privilege of borrowing from a music professor called Music Cognition, which is all about how we hear music. The actual book itself was really dry and boring. I wouldn't recommend it, but I did get a lot of useful information out of it, and it got me thinking, which is, I think, what those kind of dry, boring academic books are really good for, because the book is so boring that it makes your mind wander, and when your mind is wandering with those kinds of books, that is not a foul. Excuse me? Is being good looking a foul in this game? Like, I want to see a replay because I refuse to believe that a foul happened. Yeah, you're not gonna show it, which means that you know it was a bad call. I was also talking to myself in the preseason games that I need to work on my saucy smack talk because I know I'm not going to get any views from winning games. I'm going to get views from losing games and getting salty about it. Anyways, yeah, back to music cognition. I think that the definition of music is, in my opinion, and again, this is another thing, like, there's no real right answer. We're going to be debating this forever. But my personal definition is that music is sounds that you hear as music, which I know what you're saying. I just poo-pooed all over the idea that you'll know it when you hear it, or you'll know it when you see it as a definition for music, but this is different. I think music is not an inherent property of a sound or a song or whatever. Music is instead entirely in your head, and it's something that our brains have done to sounds in order to fill in the blank. We'll get back into this discussion later, but just a quick halftime report. Chicago Fire, my first game as manager. I could not be happier with the team so far in the first half that I've seen. Yeah, Columbus don't know what hit them. They thought they were going to have an easy win, but we did not roll over. Let's get back out there. Skip all this. Barnacle could come out. I'll remember that. I think we only have 3 subs here. Yeah, so I think that music is something that happens primarily in the listener and in the musicians' heads. It's the same reason why a lot of people listen to, say, metal and say, oh, that's just noise. Or they're not really singing. Excuse me, are you gonna call me a penalty because Schweinsteiger is good looking? We've been over this already. You better not give him a card. I thought I was going to get to talk about how metal is more than just noise, but I understand how people don't get that. But instead I have to save a penalty from Higuain. It can't be Gonzalo Higuain. And okay, we're level. I'm going to make that substitution. It's not a good save. Or even attempt at a save, sorry. So I've got to make my point about music while coming back. We're not losing, but it feels like a loss. I was hoping that we could just stun Columbus into giving up the lead and then never taking it back, but it turns out we're going to have to do this the hard way still. So yeah, metal music is a really good example of this because the conventions of metal music are just as rigid as the conventions of, say, pop music or what's the sound thing of Gregorian chant or classical or anything like that. There's a lot of variety in metal, but there's also a large amount of people who don't appreciate the genre, and that's okay because metal, I would argue, part of the point of metal is that it's not for everyone. I just mostly like it because I'm a guitar player and I like listening to really good guitar players. Oh, just get to the ball, needed a better shot there, but promising. We aren't done yet. And this discussion also comes up in rap. Like, is rap music? A lot of people will say, no, it's not music because there's no melody, which, by the way, is completely wrong. There's a lot of melody in rap. And even then, like I said, I don't agree that you need to have melody, harmony, and rhythm for it to be music. You just need to experience it as music, which is the point that I'm trying to make. If the listener hears it as music and it's created by a musician with the intent of it being music, it is music. It doesn't matter if it's 4:33, where it's just 4 minutes and 33 seconds of silence. It doesn't matter if it's this one piece, I forget who made this, but it's basically a stage setup with a bunch of loudspeakers almost feeding back, but not quite feeding back. And that's music. There isn't sound happening, but there's the potential of sound. And this really quickly gets into obscure, like 20th century art music and attempts to figure out how far we can stretch the definition of music. But at the end of the day, if you can listen to it and hear it as music, I think it is. Oh, we were just so close. So close to regaining the lead. If we can just pick the right pass, get past the defenders, and shoot. We needed a better shot there. Can't fault the effort, but I can fault everything about that shot. Like, they say sometimes you need to pick between power and accuracy when you're shooting a football, but that guy picked neither. Okay, we gotta defend this. Anyway, at this point, I feel like I've said everything I need to say about music. Music is in the ear of the listener, but not as in like you can define whether something's music based on whether you like it way, but more of a if the sound... Oh, that was a terrible pass. If the sound engages you in the way that music does, then you're experiencing music, therefore it's music kind of way. And now that I've answered the eternal question of what is and what isn't real music, we shall focus on trying to win this game. We're going to go into attacking mode when we're allowed to. Not all-out attack, just regular attack. We'll go into all-out attack if we really, really need to. It's not a good cross, but it almost worked. Okay. Thinking about substitutions. I'm also thinking about changing formations. I'm just taking the default Chicago formation right now because it worked really well in preseason. Like I said, I won every preseason game while testing my microphone. Just get the ball. Just get the ball. What's the point of standing around the guy who has the ball if you aren't going to go for the ball? Oh, great save. And we've got it. Okay. We'll ratchet this up a notch if we need to. I'm starting to feel like we need to. But as I was saying, my normal formation in FIFA is a 4-4-3 attacking. Yes! Oh, sweet victory. Now we just need to hold on for 10 more minutes and we will get our well-earned 3 points on the road. This is a great performance. I mean, I hate that I gave up 2 goals, but it's going to happen when I'm distracted. I could look at this all day. All right, let's close out this game. So in the minutes that I've got left, I'm just going to tell you about, I guess, my strategy, my tactics. That's the word, tactics, as a coach. As a FIFA player, I like to defend. Basically, I take the Pee Wee Soccer 8-year-old strategy of just swarm the guy with the ball. I like to say that I try to defend like 10 madmen and then slow, balanced, possession-based. Oh my gosh, I need to score this, And we have. I play a possession-based offense and a crazy chaotic defense that gets the job done. Folks, we are in for a great season. I hope you watch more of these videos. I hope I make more of these videos. Honestly, I haven't decided yet exactly how many of these videos I'm making, but I chose MLS because the season is shorter, which tells you a little bit about my priorities right now. Oh, man. This game has been a roller coaster, but I was going to say I could not be happier with my first game in charge of Chicago Fire, but that's a lie for 2 reasons. This isn't technically my first game I had preseason, and also I could be happier. A lot happier, actually, it turns out. I could be a lot happier, like I was 30 seconds ago. Jeez Louise. Like, as a goalkeeper, you gotta close him down. You can't just sit there and watch him score on you, dude. Yeah, it looked like he was jumping away from the ball scared. So, Yeah, obviously I have a lot of work to do on my defense. I do joke that my crazy chaotic defense gets the job done, but I'm not entirely sure it's going to do great, especially because I'm playing as Chicago Fire, who are an absolutely terrible, awful team. And I know that. But I'm going to play them anyways. I'm going to have to take up the slack by learning how to actually defend in this game, which is not my strong suit. I think my strong suit in this game is getting possession, keeping possession. Okay, sorry, not getting possession. Keeping possession and getting past the defense. I don't know why I said getting possession, because that was literally the opposite of what I am good at. Run. Just run. Just run. Just run. And cross. I was about to get mad that nothing came of that really good cross, but honestly, no complaints. 3 points on the road to start the season. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this really weird off-the-wall video. I hope you, well, I hope you tell me in the comments if you'd be interested to see more of this. I haven't decided, like I said, if I'm going to do more of this on this channel, or if I'm going to make a new channel, or if I just decide that being a FIFA YouTuber is not for me entirely. But I've certainly had fun. I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed the discussion. If you have any more topic suggestions, let me know. I'd love to answer music questions or not music questions. And I will see you in the next video, which might be a song. We'll see.